I texted you twice. Dave,
I know. I was Eve fucking around with a bunch of bullshit. Picasso's, the fucking best. Did you get barbecue fries?
He's so mad. He's so mad.
Did you get barbecue fries? Did you get
No, dude, I just got slices. Fries? I was going to do the Dave Fournier, fuck Dave Fournier, Picasso's in Lancaster.
Did they kick you out, or were they like, oh, fuck, this guy wants fucking pizza?
You gotta get barbecue fries. That's where it's at.
There's only one or two better places to get pizza in Buffalo, Dave.
Nope, there's nowhere.
One of them is owned by the same people.
Nowhere better.
That don't count, Dave. I'll take you to a spot. Next time you're in town, I'll take you to a spot.
I think Santor's is better than Picasso's.
But Santor's the OG. It's the OG.
You're invited to come up for dinner, so...
Give me the salt water. David, I'm here breaking all stigmas on the program, as always.
We'll keep break stigmas for a while, because I'm completely unready for the show. Oh, hey. Hello, Dave, everybody.
Dude, what's wrong, dude? You all right?
No, I'm trying to get shit together. I'm not in a bad mood. I'm just trying to do my shit.
He had to deal with me for the last...
Dave, it's all right, man.
20 years.
I told you, dude. I told you yesterday I'm Jesus, man. Let's just put all your burdens on me. It's all right. I'll take care of you, man. I'm here for you.
We got one more day. Actually, two.
Oh, probably shouldn't say this on the show. Well, they're gonna have to know. But I should have. I don't know if there's gonna be shows the rest of the week, Ryan.
Are you okay?
Yeah. Well, here's the deal. Friday, I'm going to Pittsburgh to race. I was originally
vacation.
You're racing?
Yeah, well, I was originally planning on Sunday, but my dad's doing time trials that weekend, so he didn't want to do Sunday. He said we could do Friday.
What are you racing?
Pitts, my car.
Your car?
His little bud car.
It's a go-kart.
What?
Basically. It's like a street legal go-kart. Friday in Pittsburgh.
What time?
All day.
He's leaving tomorrow night.
Yeah, but that's the thing, because it starts at 7 a.m. and then it's till like 5:30.
You could do it in the car.
Yeah.
I literally do it in the car every week, and literal documented proof. Dave.
Yeah, well, here's the deal. You can't hear shit in my car when I'm driving. The thing's loud.
It is. The dogs know when he's home.
For legal reasons, the exhaust is definitely factory. Definitely has a catalytic converter. Definitely has a muffler.
Definitely no Second Amendment stickers on the outside.
Totally isn't straight piped.
You have a straight pipe Fiat, dude?
No, Brian, you're not listening to what I'm saying. It has a catalytic converter. It has a muffler, a resonator, just like all cars. Completely good emissions.
But that's Friday. And then Saturday, we will be in Buffalo at Comic-Con.
We're going to Comic. I'm going to Comic.
Fuck it. Working on. That's why we were late.
How much are tickets for Comic-Con?
I don't know. She buys them. I don't fucking $40.
Probably.
Let's go. My God.
Yeah. So Saturday we will be there and picking tile for our new bathroom because our bathroom.
So what? Today's fucking Friday. Today's a fuck off Friday show. Are you kidding me?
Well, it kind of is. I mean, there's a couple things. Well, there's some things we got things to talk about.
Trump started war yesterday. People don't know what the fuck they're doing.
No, he ceasefired in Israel and Iran continued war.
Look,
right?
I heard 3 times today by 3 separate people about 3 accounts. It looked like a who there, but about Trump just making up the peace deal in his head allegedly.
And the only people who. Okay, so people think that, but Israel and Iran don't. They haven't both come out publicly and said that the deal was bullshit.
Yeah, well, his point was well documented because I kind of agreed. He said Israel, whether or not they agree to a peace deal, has never upheld a single peace deal ever. I was like,
Yeah, we got stuff today. We got
Dave, just because I called World War III and you called World War III in December of 2022. I'm sorry. February of 2022 does not mean that you can just go on vacation and fucking cosplay. What are those events called? Furry events. That's the one.
No, it's not.
We're gonna be furries.
We're not going to be furries. Pigs aren't furry, first of all, and neither are potatoes.
Peg Jesus. You look like a hot potato.
I'm a mustachioed potato.
Mustachio potato.
Pull up.
No, that's not what the show is for. I'm trying to like prep the show while doing the show. Thank you.
Wait, I will look up a picture.
No, you don't need to look up a picture. It doesn't matter. That's not what the show is. Sorry,
Dave, do you
everyone.
want Dave? Do you want fucking socks now or later?
What the fuck? Sock? Oh, cotton socks. Do cotton socks now so I can cotton socks and prep.
Look, people, I will buy the socks off of you. Okay, I will fucking buy them. I will buy. I don't even care if they're my size. I will buy the socks off you. I beg you. I dare you. You go out to a store. I don't want you to buy them on Amazon, you cheap fucks. I want fucking documents. I want receipts. I want your Target app, whatever your girlfriend had to do to go get it because you're too lazy to go do it, whatever. I beg you. You find me 100% cotton socks, David. Bet me. You can't. They don't exist. The
you mean like
100%. 100%.
Can I go online and get them? Because I
guarantee
I can find.
In a store. You go
Nobody
look.
buys things in stores, Ryan. What
Cut
year
the
is this?
shit, David.
2006.
David. Go in the store.
I don't want
and
to.
Try.
Did you see him, Ryan?
See what? Yeah. Of course I seen him. You put him right in front of David's face. It looks just like Dave. He's got assless chaps on.
Do you want to see a sneak peek of his costume? I will 100% show you.
Can we do the show?
This is David dressed up. This is literally him. Earlier today.
Here's the problem. In all seriousness,
that your joke is outlined in that costume.
there is a dick outline.
Yeah.
No, you can't look at the dick outline. It's covered. It's covered by the potato.
Put the dick outline on screen. I need
skin tight suits are not made.
I need the Dick Dave document can. Dick Dave.
Skin tight suits are not made for certain people. That's not good.
Dave, is your cock that big? It shows off the rest. Did you hear about micro penises? I didn't know those were real, David.
You don't have one of those, don't worry.
They're called clitorises, Ryan.
Called the women. Micro dicks are called the women. Micro spoons. This pod's off the rails, David.
This is the most off the rails I've ever seen us.
Dude, this woman outside right now, this young lady is dressed like fucking Beetlejuice. And you know what? She looked like him. She looks like him.
Is it the mayor of Chicago? Oh, actually, she has.
I heard the Toronto mayor was like a crackhead today. Did we cover this? We missed the crackhead.
What, isn't this the... Are you talking about the old guy? Mayor Ford or whatever?
Yeah. Did we cover this?
Is he still the mayor?
No, I heard he died. Ask Gronk. Ask Gronk, goddamn it. I beg you, people. I will buy the fucking socks. You can't find them, David. Don't be lazy fuck. Go to Target, go to Walmart, go to Wegmans. Wherever you buy your sock and sock accessories, David. They don't make 100% cotton socks, dude. Closest I got was 91%.
Rob Ford, the former mayor of Toronto, died March 22nd, 2016. Died forever ago.
Yeah, why don't I just hear about the crackhead?
Complications. He had a rare and aggressive form of cancer.
Yeah, it's just super rare and aggressive after smoking crack for 30 years.
The fucked up part is that's probably not what gave it to him.
Crack probably held it off, is what happened. He stopped smoking, he dies. You know, you ever meet people like that? What, David?
We have a show today.
Yeah. All ADHD of Jesus is here, dude.
I prefer gaping Jesus, I think. Gaping that's better. Jesus. Ryan, Bernie Sanders.
That's highly insulting, I think, Dave.
Bernie Sanders. Does everyone remember Bernie
Castrated BDSM Muhammad, David. Could you imagine that photograph?
Ryan, focus.
I'm here.
Does everyone... I know you're here.
Remember Bernie Sanders on Rogan. I heard you.
I know, I get
Bernie
it.
Sanders.
But do people remember Bernie Sanders? Because he was
he died, became a millionaire.
I'm surprised he didn't.
And then stopped hating millionaire.
The biggest... for a while, he was a big name in politics. Does everyone remember this? And then he just fell off the face of the... What I think really... He got... I don't want to say they stole an election from him, but he got robbed of a primary by the Democratic Party. This is known, by the way. This isn't even a conspiracy theory. And then he kind of fell off the face of the earth. He was on Rogan recently, so I got 4 clips from that. Brian, did you see Liver King got arrested?
For what?
We'll get into it.
Is this yesterday's show today, or
it's kind of like honestly there wasn't a lot to that happen today. So like I said, if I said yesterday, if we had a slow news day, this is what we're going to be doing. Man of my word, Ryan. And then there's just one, maybe 2 more clips we might play, just for fun clips, Ryan. What do you want to start with?
Liver King.
You want to start with Liver King. Okay, so apparently Liver King had posted this very bizarre video saying he was going to kick the shit out of Joe Rogan. And then he got arrested in Austin. So maybe he was following through on that. I'm going to pull up the clip here. Ryan, as always, I can pause as needed. Don't know how much I'll be able or need to pause because his little video he made is like, I don't know what he's on. He's rambling. He's breaking down mental. I don't know what the fuck's going on here. I don't really know this guy at all. I kind of know his general gist, but I don't know much about him.
His family's coming over. Yeah.
This is the video of him being arrested, obviously. But it's going to cut to the video he shot.
Everything. Because Joe Rogan, we don't have to make videos to pretend anymore. All of this is happening. We're coming to you. I've challenged you man to man to a fight. Honorable. And we don't have to pretend or make any videos. The world is watching. They'll make the videos for us. And you don't have to hold a camera. You can hold the hand of somebody that you love, because what happens next to you, you're going to need to remember that feeling. You're going to need something more than what you did to give you something to fight for, because I have my family to fight for. And I'll die for them, you know that. And you're a black belt, but you've never come across something like this. Willing to die, hoping that you'll choke me out. I pray to God, because that's a dream come true. It feels good. And then the limbs, I'm fighting for my family. So limb. Go ahead. But then you have to contend with something else. And I weigh 177 pounds, an actual savage. And so at first you're like, fuck that guy. And right?
It's terrifying.
When you did get your attention,
dude, there's something wrong with this fucking guy right now.
You're saying, I'm going to choke that motherfucker, that piece of fucking shit. I'm going to choke him out. That's what warriors do. You and Andrew Tate are good warriors. But you're actually better than that real tension we have. Comedy that you do is good and true. We have real tension. But what I see, comedy is good and true. Touch points. How people laugh. If we don't make fun of them at their expense, they laugh. You should all make fun of me. You should all make fun of me at my expense. Trust me, that it still works, and then you should get paid for it. And let's go. Because we're leaving. We're going to Austin. What was my very last point?
That we're gonna kick Joe Rogan's ass.
The real G said it. Oh, it's my speech. Justin Fitz.
I don't know what the fuck he was trying to say. I don't know if you know more about this guy than I do, but does he always seem completely fucking out of it?
No, he came out, Liver King, I think about a year ago about this time. He made rounds because he was saying that you got to like sleep on the floor and do all these ancestral tenets and stuff that our ancestors did that was very unique to them, and eat liver and eat organ meat. And some of the stuff like was really good. You know, he promoted good sleep and stuff, but he always said that he was natural, and he was. It came out there was blood tests that were leaked, and he was getting TRT regularly, and he was cycling, and so yeah, people caught him. It came out. It kind of like killed all his credibility. And to be honest, a lot of people in the space, at least in the bodybuilding space that I was following, kind of knew that he was. So you might as well just be honest, was what they all said. Steroids kind of do whatever to you. I'm not the one to go to for that, but it's called roid rage for a reason, right? And the idea, to be honest, that guy's very capable. 177-pound guy like that is fucking terrifying, dude. I don't know, what do you do with shoot him, but so he was arrested in Austin, right?
Yeah, he made his way to Austin. I don't know where he lives or whatever, but he got to Austin, which is where Rogan is. So
Yeah, I mean, the guy's wealthy. I heard Mark Bell, who Um, he was like, I don't know if he ever was in the Olympics, but he was high level bodybuilder, and he actually like made like he was the first guy that really popularized those bands, I think, that and proved that it's just as effective, if not more effective, of growing muscle than like dumbbells or bench press rather. But he said that he went to his facility and it was expansive. Like this guy had some money, so I don't know, dude. It is like that guy's tweaking. I don't know what did Rogan say that pissed him off. It's almost like that. I almost wonder if there is some stuff behind the scenes that you never know about. I always said that Joe Rogan, for all those people that are like, even me included, that was talking about how the podcast space took over mainstream media, all it really did kind of in some ways was make new gatekeepers, and they're just privatized. So,
I
but
mean,
that's a separate issue for it.
about the only thing I've heard about Liver King was the people saying that he was on steroids, and then I saw a picture of him and I went, "Oh, that makes sense. He's clearly on steroids." And I've heard Rogan say that specifically, so I don't know if that's all it's about. I can't imagine that would be enough to set him off, but who knows? I mean, I don't know. The video, he's clearly incoherent though. Like,
It's crazy because you think he's got nothing to lose. It also maybe questions. Obviously, fame isn't for anybody, let alone somebody. But like, too much of a good thing could kill you. I mean, Dave, let's paint this in the terms that we can paint. What would happen to us in public if I was like sitting here filming and I was getting knocked on the door? Like, yo, yo, yo. Like, what would that be like? You couldn't go out to eat. You couldn't go to a bar and have a drink. You couldn't go get a slice of pizza.
well, that would probably look like the Theo Vaughn video that came out. I don't know if you saw that. He choked a
With
dude out.
Morgan Whale. Oh no, I didn't.
No, he was in like a bar and some guy was like in his face all night. As the story has been said, the guy was in his face all night. And then, of course, they got on video the moment when Theo Vaughn kind of put his hand around his neck and like backed him off, like, get the fuck out of my face. And that was kind of making its rounds. Like, oh, how could you guys don't listen to this guy. Look how aggressive he is. Well, okay. Is he being aggressive or is he sick of this guy in his face every 5 seconds? And who knows what he said to him? I mean, yeah, it's easy to get caught in something like that. To go out of your way, travel to Austin to kick the shit out of somebody, that's maybe a little different.
Yeah, I mean, you don't poke a man that's got nothing to lose. Maybe this guy, kind of like, yeah. I mean, even if he is wealthy and a great family or whatever, it could all be a front, right? A lot of people do that, but I don't know, dude.
It's a weird. It's just weird. I don't know. To me, it's weird. I don't know the guy, so I don't know how he normally is. I don't have a baseline for him. But to me, that's weird for most people.
Yeah.
And I don't know what he was getting at or what he was trying to say, because it was very all over the place. He was not completing sentences. I don't know. It was a bizarre video, and then to see him get arrested in Austin, he obviously made the trip. He must have been somewhat serious. It's one thing to make the video that's threatening to some degree as it is, but then to get arrested where Rogan is, that means he took it that much more seriously. So I don't know. Who knows how far that would have went. Bizarre video though. I kind of noticed it, and I've heard the guy's name before. I don't know how much you know about him. Ryan, do you want to get to the Bernie Sanders clips now, or do you want to talk about government supermarkets?
I'll go government supermarkets.
You're really pushing off this Bernie stuff, Ryan. So the premise of this is, I guess he didn't technically did he officially win the mayoral race in New York City? So Andrew Cuomo, kind of get him mixed up sometimes. Andrew Cuomo ran for New York City mayor. He has dropped out of the race against an immigrant from Africa, Zoran Matamani or something. I don't even know how the fuck to say this guy's name. What he's saying, well, I'm not going to tell you what he's saying. Everyone can hear what he's saying. Let's play the video, right? How does that sound? Zimbabwe Matamiazzi. I don't fucking know what this guy's name is.
Grocery prices are out of control. The cost of eggs and milk has skyrocketed. Some stores are even using dynamic pricing, jacking up the cost over the course of a day depending on what they can get away with. It doesn't need to be this way. I'm Zohran Mamdani, and as mayor, I will create a network of city-owned grocery stores. It's like a public option for produce. We will redirect city funds from corporate supermarkets to city-owned grocery stores, whose mission is lower prices, not price gouging. These stores will operate without a profit motive or having to pay property taxes or rent, and will pass on those savings to you. Grocery prices.
How does the government not pay rent?
Well, here's this is great. Ready?
This is communism.
Well, it is. It is actually. Now, I know this word gets thrown around a lot of people in our space. This is the definition of communism. This is literally government overtaking the means of production. This is quite literally communism.
Yeah, redistribution of the wealth, of the production of the labor to the government.
Yes, to be clear, this is a textbook definition of communism, a public option grocery store. With that said, there's 2 points in here that he doesn't even know he's making. The one is at the end, and he says, well, the government options are going to be so much cheaper because they don't have to pay taxes or rent. So are you admitting softly that taxation is an effect on the business, and thus they have to pass on the price of that taxation? Just out of curiosity.
Oh, a little economics there, David.
A little bit of economics for the communists here from Zimbabwe, Matahurini, or whatever the fuck.
You ever hear Marcus Cuban take on that? That within every socialist is a little bit of a capitalist.
No, Mark Cuban said that.
Not Mark Cuban. Who's about Dave Leary from Shark Tank?
Oh, okay, that makes more sense.
He was buying the Tax the Rich shirts from AOC. He's like, I love her, and he's like, you know what's so funny? I was buying them shirts for $14.99, and he's like, I looked, and she has an 83% profit margin or something. She's like, so it's proof that within every socialist there is a capitalist.
They always try to have some like Weasley excuse though for why they can use capitalism, but it's if other people use capitalism, it's bad, right? Like AOC would be like, yeah, but that's to fund my campaign so I can fight the capitalists. Like, all right. Like this guy, well, yeah, my capitalism's bad, but it's because I'm taking down the big grocery stores. Which, by the way, here's the other thing that he completely doesn't know or fails to tell. The average profit margin for a grocery store is wildly low compared to other businesses.
Yeah, how can it not be? The shit always goes bad. Like how much shit gets thrown out?
I'm sure I could grok this, Ryan. I don't. Let's see what an average grocery store profit is. Let's say, actually, let's do grocery store produce markup. For example, it says it ranges around 50% with some variation depending on type of produce and perishability. For example, highly perishable items like berries may have a markup exceeding 75% to cover losses. And I know people are thinking like, oh my God, 75% markup, that's outrageous. Okay. If you were to do the math on like berries, okay, for example, 75%. If you buy them for $5, that means the markup is only like $2-3, right? So every tub of berries, the markup is $3, which means they pay $2. Okay, in this example, just for easy math, and I know it's averages and it's not exact. So they'll make $3. They pay $2. They sell it for $5. They make $3. Right? That's their profit. Okay. Now they have to throw out, let's say, 20% of their tubs of berries. Okay. So now that's just $2 loss, $2 loss, $2 loss, $2 loss. And you have to pay somebody. Is that Teddy licking his chops? And you have to pay somebody to stock the produce and clean out the shelves and do the floors, and somebody has to be the cashier, and you need a butcher shop, and you gotta and there's property tax, which conveniently the government ones get to avoid, and there's rent, and you have to pay electricity, and you have a water bill, and you have a gas bill, and you have insurance, which is outrageous because people are slipping coming in, and you got to pay somebody to go get the carts, and the carts are broken, you got to maintain the carts, and you got to do, like, the amount of cost that is involved. People don't understand. They see 50% markup. Oh my God, you're making twice the money on me. Yep, sure am. You know why? Because all this shit ain't free. The fucking bricks on this building aren't free, and I got to pay for it every goddamn month. And I got to pay the government to be here, and I got to employ people, and I got to pay the government to employ people. Because there's something called payroll tax, which is the government charging you to hire people. It's this, people don't understand what the fuck they're talking about. They have
Let them
no
vote.
idea,
Let them vote.
no
Let 'em
idea the cost of operating a business. Oh, the government option grocery store is going to be way less because we don't have property tax. Oh my God, here's a fucking idea. Don't charge private grocery stores property tax. And here's another idea. Don't charge them payroll tax. You think the cost would go down now? Oh, they're gouging. They're gouging. Can you believe they charged 75% on berries? Yeah, I can. You know how many berries you have to sell to fucking pay an employee for a year?
A million.
This is stupid as shit. I
How
literally
many
go back to
Oh,
Africa,
Dave,
go open up your own
Dave.
grocery store.
Dave, if that didn't sum up economics in such a fucking great bite, you know how many fucking berries you gotta sell to pay an employee for 1 year, dude?
Oh, by the way, what's the minimum wage in NYC? I bet I got to pay the fucking shit out of a guy to work there. $20 an hour? You know how many berries I got to sell for $20 an hour? I'm making $3 on the tub of berries, right? Let's do the math. I got to sell more than 6 berries to pay one person for 1 hour of work because we're in New York City. And I had to throw 10 tubs away because they all fucking went bad.
It would be like 8,000 cartons of berries
To pay
at $3.99, which is what they typically are around here. To pay out the $15 an hour.
Is $3.99 the profit markup though, or is that
That's what they sell for?
That's what they sell for?
Yeah.
Okay, so now 75% is the markup.
Right, so they're doing it for like they buy them for 89 cents.
They'd probably
$1.20 for
Yeah.
$1.20.
Yeah, call it
So they're only
Dollar-
making like $2.30.
Yeah, they're making about $2 on a tub.
on a
So you
tub
make
of
about
berries.
$2. Now I gotta sell 10 of those to pay one person for 1 hour at my store.
Are you selling 10 tubs of blueberries on average, David, every hour for? Just be blueberries.
And it's all to scale. Like a small grocery store, they'll sell less berries, but they have less employees.
And less customers.
They have less overhead in general. They have less customers. But a store that has more customers has more overhead. It's all about the same. But the soft admittance at the end that we're going to be cheaper because we don't have payroll tax. For me, that's what did it.
Yeah, as if the government's taxes aren't payroll taxes.
Could you
Isn't
imagine
all
if these businesses didn't have to pay taxes like us, the government grocery store? Yeah, could you imagine? What a world. Jeez. I don't like these people. I really don't.
They know exactly what they're doing. Just Veep.
Just Veep. He just
Mass
accidentally
government copies.
he just accidentally stumbled across the fact that if you cut down taxes, it's less expensive.
Whack, dude.
And why doesn't the government have to pay rent? Because they bought the building.
Yep. And the property tax on the building is paid for by taxpayers.
It's paid for by taxpayers. But now, but you just now there just isn't a property tax. Well, and that's why they call it a tax exemption, Ryan, because it's not, the money's not. I don't know how to say this the right way. The money's not due. They make the money due, right? Like you in theory, you don't owe that money. They decided that you owe that money, which means they can decide that you don't owe that money. So the government can be I'm tax exempt. Like, all right, well, anyone can be tax exempt if you exempted them of paying taxes. Who makes that decision? You do. The government makes that decision. I don't know. Make that decision for more people. Sounds like a good idea to me, personally. Ryan. It's time. You can't avoid it anymore.
And the salty water.
Why is it salty water?
I fit there.
Why are you drinking salty water?
It's the most rehydration drink on earth, David.
I feel like the opposite of true.
It's not, David. I've come on this program. Stay salty, dude.
I don't like this. Bernie Sanders, Ryan. First of all, if this man on the screen walked up to you in a store, you would think he was a crazy person. Just so we're clear. You would think he's a fucking crazy person.
I think he was a cute old guy.
You would think he's a cute old guy.
Yeah.
Because you're a crazy person.
You would think he was lost. He looks disheveled.
No.
And he'd be
He's
in
asking
the
Joe
aisle-
Rogan where the bathroom is.
He'd be literally in the aisle yelling that there's too many deodorants. And you'd be like, that guy is fucking crazy.
Dude, that guy's got no body mass and his hair is fucked up. Look at that.
He has hair mass.
Hair mass.
He didn't go bald. It just moved to the side of his head.
The wind shifting.
This is your boy, Ryan, Bernie Sanders. This is Bernie Sanders.
And I know that
letting everyone know that
there are
climate
some
change
people
is
think
very
climate
dangerous.
change is a hoax.
Keep going.
It ain't a hoax. I think the last 10 years have been the warmest on record, and we can create millions of good-paying jobs transforming our energy system away from fossil fuel to energy efficiency, to solar, to wind, and other sustainable energies.
I think the climate change issue is very complicated. And I think, did you see the Washington Post piece that they wrote where they did this long-term view? First of all, the reality is that the Earth's temperature has never been static, right? We could both agree on that. It's always been up and down. There's been ice ages and heat waves. And then the Washington Post looked at it. What was the time period that they looked at? That essentially they found that we're in a cooling period. That the Earth over the past X amount of years, and this was like a very inconvenient discovery, but they had to report the data, and kudos to them for doing that. Scientists have captured the Earth's climate change over the last 485 million years. Here's a surprising place we stand now. So look at the far end of that graph.
Surprising is the headline.
And you see we're in a cooling period.
Well, I'm not sure. I didn't read that article, but
Yeah.
the scientists who are out there, I think.
I know, but there's a lot of money involved in that too, Bernie. That's part of the problem. There's a lot of money involved in this whole.
First of all, I love Joe. This is a member of Congress. He's like, yeah, I know, Bernie, but hear me out.
Climate change emergency issue, and there's a lot of control, and that's a big part of this problem. Not only that, if we're just talking about primarily carbon and carbon footprint, what are we going to do about China? Because China is like, what percentage of
they are the major polluter right now in terms of carbon. We're number 2. We used to be 1. They are number 1 right now.
I think they have an enormous percent of global. I think they're
number 1. I don't know what the percentage.
High. It's very
high. It's not an American issue. It is a global issue. And all I can tell you is that we are, in my view, going to see more extreme weather disturbances in the coming years than we have ever. And we're seeing them right now.
But scientists don't agree. Well, this is where it gets confusing, because scientists that are in agreement, there's all these entanglements. Whenever someone's discussing something, whether it's economics or whether it's health issues or pharmaceutical drugs, there's financial entanglements. I think we both agree with that, right?
Yep.
And I think this is part of the issue with this whole climate change emergency as well, because it's not just that we could all agree pollution is a major factor. It's a huge issue in the world today. We could all agree with that, right? I think one of the things that we have to recognize is that whenever there's an issue that everyone can agree on, you're going to have a bunch of people that capitalize on that issue, and they look to gain more money. They have financial issues that they push forward in order to capitalize on this issue, but then also power and control. These things like they're trying to institute in the UK, where they have these 15-minute cities, this concept where you're not allowed to travel. They'll be able to look at your carbon footprint. See, that's the problem. The problem is giving people that are in power, these people that we've all discussed that have so much money and so much control over our societies, multinational corporations, giving them more control over citizens. And this is a vehicle for that. And this is what's dangerous about this whole climate change emergency, because it allows these fucking creeps that have been controlling people and controlling what you do and what you say and how you spend your money with people that already live in check to check, and you put additional constraints on them and you make them even more scared. And then you put additional measures where you can look at their carbon footprint, you can look at the amount they travel. What do put a carbon tax on these people? Let's figure out how to extract more money from them. That's what bothers me about this climate change emergency. Not that we can all agree pollution is a terrible thing. Everyone should agree to that. The beautiful earth that sustains us and all life on this planet is being poisoned as we speak. We're killing all the fish in the ocean and sucking them out in giant numbers. 94% of all the big fish that are in the ocean are gone over the last, whatever it is.
When you go to war against nature, you lose.
Yeah, because you're a part of nature.
Loses. Exactly
but
right.
We're worshiping the almighty dollar.
You got it.
Above the mother.
The thing with Bernie Sanders that's always been interesting to me, he is spot on in diagnosing the problem, and then he completely runs in the wrong direction for the solution.
This whole doubling down is just like, dude, are you in a cult or not? And Joe Rogan also sounds like somebody who allowed COVID and didn't fight harder is not allowing that to happen with climate change.
Yeah, well, he nailed climate change spot on. He made all the points that I love the most, which is he started right out of the gate. Yeah, I think we can agree, Bernie, old Bernie, buddy Bernie. I think we can agree that there isn't a set temperature the Earth is supposed to be. Just so we're clear, the Earth's temperature has always fluctuated. This is an argument I've always made forever about climate change. The ridiculous idea that you can pinpoint it to humans that Earth's temperature is fluctuating, even though you can carbon date and track history through all the scientific methods and understand that there were ice ages and melting periods all before humans were even in existence. And then somehow still say that even though that's the case, this fluctuation in temperature is because of humans. It's always been bullshit. Not climate change in general as an idea has been bullshit. Their idea of what's causing it has always been bullshit. And it's conveniently been pinpointed on the human population because, let's be honest, that's what they're trying to control. So if
carbon they're trying to get rid of is you.
Yeah. 100%. if you conveniently say that people are the ones causing the climate change, then you can control the people to stop the climate change. And that's the other point that Joe makes, which is completely excellent, which is, yeah, all they're going to do is use this as measures from control. I mean, the 15-minute cities in Europe. And I didn't see Bernie's face, but he must have made a face because Joe went, yeah, see? Exactly.
So there's no th-
He nailed it. Rogan nailed it.
Way to go, Joe.
Yeah, I like that. Well, here's another exact. This is almost like the best example of this. But Joe Rogan does basically the same thing he just did with climate change, talking to Bernie about taxes.
There is something else that's going on in this. While all this
Okay.
is going on, while all this technology is throwing people out on the street,
Right.
something else is happening. The people who own that technology and the corporations who utilize that technology are becoming phenomenally richer, right?
Exactly.
All right. And
Exactly.
that is the issue, which gets back to things like tax reform, like making sure that in America we do not have the massive levels of income and wealth inequality that we currently have.
But the problem with that is the taxes go to what? An incompetent, corrupt government. This
All right,
is
well,
this is
all
the
right.
issue that people have. It's
Good,
like,
fair
yes,
enough. All right.
willing to pay our fair. Look, I'd be more than willing to pay more taxes if we lived in a better country. I'd be like, this would be great. If I felt like if I pay
All right,
more
then
taxes,
your job is
everybody's
okay,
surviving, everybody's doing well. That's
Good.
great.
All right. Then that is the issue of how you revitalize American democracy. I'm not going to argue with you that the system today is pretty bad. All right. I live it. I'm going there today.
And ironically, it's bad because there's no competition, right? It's corrupt, but it's not a free market. Like the government itself has a monopoly on governing. And when they're completely corrupt and when they're making insane amounts of money through taxes and they're
Actually,
not,
good job,
All
Joe
right.
Rogan.
I don't.
Yeah, this is Bernie Sanders again diagnosing the issue correctly and then running towards government as the solution. And even Rogan, which again he does an excellent job, gets Bernie to admit, yeah, the government's corrupt, of course, yeah. Well, no, fair enough, yeah, fair enough. Why would me giving you all of my money make this better? Oh, Joe, you don't have to tell me that. I live it. Okay, well, exactly, you live it. So why is the solution make the government bigger and more powerful?
Yeah, man, it's weird. And to go further, Joe Rogan, you are right that there is no competition. The competition to government corruption is supposed to be the Constitution and the Second Amendment. So
It's kind of an interesting point because he says that that the government has a monopoly on governing, which ironically violates antitrust laws. And I don't know if anyone could legally try that, but I think that would be interesting. Right, and there's two more. Oh, that's a good one. So Joe Rogan and Bernie, old Bernie, buddy pal, get into it a little bit here with talking about the government suing media, and let me say this: to some extent and to some degree, and it's not much, I do agree there is a bit of a slippery slope here, for sure. Just to be clear, I don't think Bernie's completely off the rails here. I think it is a little bit of a slippery slope to allow the government to sue the media. With that said, there has to be some way to hold media accountable for what they've been doing.
And I got to say, I mean, one of the things, and there was a lot of arguments about Trump, that worries me very, very much is this movement toward authoritarianism and going after media, suing media, taking away the authority that Congress has.
When you say suing media, are you talking about the CBS lawsuit?
Among other things. He has,
Right, but don't you think there's a real issue with what they did?
no. In this
You
sense,
don't
look,
think that there's a real issue
It may-
in
look-
editing conversations to give
All right.
someone an answer
Joe,
that's
I've been
different
on-
than what they really answered?
Joe, I've been on 8 zillion shows,
Right.
in my life.
Okay.
Okay. Now, should I sue you if you ask me some stupid question that I don't like, right? Or that you do something? Do I have a right? Should I sue you?
But what about the other the other lawsuit
this-
with the conversation that they had with Kamala Harris, where they edited the answers that she had to make it look more precise?
60 Minutes, they were suing 60 Minutes.
Yes.
Is, to my mind, historically, been around for a very long time. They're not infallible, but I think you look at most objective people will say 60 Minutes has a sterling reputation for investigative journalism. Are they wrong?
But that's not investigative journalism if you change someone's answers.
All
If
right.
you ask her a question and she comes with a rambling answer that doesn't make sense, and you edit that out and insert another answer to a different question
but-
that seems more
All
cogent.
right, Joe, then you're walking down, you're walking down a dangerous path. Suing media has the impact of intimidating media. All right, if somebody sues you, all right, let me finish. All right,
Okay.
somebody sues you, why not you? You could
Right.
you could be sued tomorrow, right? Because you are doing this, you're too sympathetic to this.
Right.
And Joe, you did that, and they have a big law firm behind you, and you're going to have to spend zillions of dollars defending yourself. You know what? Next time you do an interview, you say, maybe I'm not going to go in that area.
No, but it's not that. It's editing things to make this deceptive editing.
Joe,
So in deceptive editing,
I don't
you
know,
give
and I-
people a different perception of who this
Yeah, I
candidate
understand
is
that.
than reality.
All right, but you
that's
gotta
not
explain-
But that's not objective
I
journalism.
know, but
That's campaigning for that
all right,
person.
but
Would you agree with that?
I don't have those details. I don't know that I agree with your
Just gave-
analysis. I don't know enough.
I
but
think that's universally accepted that
Well,
that's what they did.
then you got to tell me why he is suing ABC. Why he is suing
well,
Meta.
let's just talk about the 60 Minutes
No,
one
but
first.
no, but it's not
we
just
could
60.
go to ABC, but I'm not aware of that
Well,
one either.
George Stephanopoulos said something that he didn't like. But the point is,
What did Stephanopoulos say?
I can't remember. It was I honestly don't remember. But
Well, I think what he was saying was factually incorrect about the results of one of Trump's trials.
all right, guess what? If I were to sue everybody who said things that were factually incorrect about me, I'd be suing people zillions of times.
Right, but-
Joe, what you're saying is, look, does media get it wrong sometimes? Absolutely. Should you have the most powerful person in America suing media? What is the impact of that? The impact is clearly intimidation. He wants to defund public broadcasting, NPR. Why is that? Well, because they also would run critical stories of him.
We kind of saw this a little bit with the Tucker Carlson and Ted Cruz interview a little bit. And it's interesting to me that Joe Rogan, the man from the Dude Bro podcast, as people love to call it, clearly knows way more information than Bernie Sanders. And Bernie Sanders is the one bringing this up. Like, Bernie Sanders wanted to talk about this. And Joe knows way more about all of it than Bernie does. And at one point, Joe goes, "Well, what's going on with the ABC thing? I'm not really super familiar with that. What did George Stephanopoulos say?" And Bernie's like, "Well, I don't know." Well, you don't know? It's your point. You're making the point. You don't even know what you're saying? What does that mean? What do you mean you don't know? You're using it as an example for the point you're trying to make. You don't even know what you're talking about. Dude Bro podcast.
Yeah, it's weird to see him catch a senator. He got him just like the Tucker stats. Like, man, government incompetence, just Veep, David. But Bernie says we have to join this global order to fight climate change to have a global thermostat.
And it's ironic because I wonder what Bernie Sanders' opinion on the Alex Jones trial was. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that guy was sued for $1.5 billion, like GDPs of countries, in the world today. And why was he sued? He was sued civilly, and what? Oh, the media gets it wrong sometimes. Okay, well, Alex Jones got it wrong. In fact, Alex Jones even openly admitted he got it wrong. And once he thought he had it wrong, he stopped reporting on it. And in fact, the amount of time he reported on it, if you were to run all the times he talked about it on a show for all the years he talked about it, it was minuscule compared to all the other things he was talking about. It was tenths of a %.
Yeah. It's weird, man. Same
But
playbook, but it's all V.
He's going to pick and choose, though. Oh, it's bad when it happens to CBS. It's bad when it happens to ABC. It's bad that the government can't fund PBS and NPR. Alex Jones got sued because he said Sandy Hook was a false flag incident.
Yep.
Oh, well, good. You can't have misinformation, right, Bernie? Pick a lane. Bernie and Joe, they're going to be talking about this is probably one of the best. The last one was pretty good. This might even be better because this is Bernie Sanders talking about how bad it is when money's in politics. Of course, only if it's Elon Musk and supporting Trump.
It says is you're a billionaire. You have now the constitutional right, because your money is your freedom of expression, right? So you don't like Bernie Sanders, you can put millions or hundreds of millions of dollars into a campaign and express your view about how terrible Bernie Sanders is, and you can buy that election, right? That's your constitutional right. I think that's probably the worst decision that the Supreme Court has ever made. So what is the result of that decision? The result of that decision, let's take us to where we are today, is that Elon Musk, and I know Elon was on your show, and he's here in Austin, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. And we could talk about Elon, but he spent $270 million to elect Trump as president. Okay. I think that's absurd that any one person.
What's the most someone donated towards the Harris campaign?
They spent a lot of money on Harris as well.
They spent $1.5 billion just
combined
over the course of a couple of months.
You got it. All right, let me talk about it. So I'm not here just to say it's a Republican. That's my point here.
Right.
Okay. What it says.
I'm not here to say it's just Republicans. Okay, but you came in with the example specifically of Elon Musk. So if Rogan didn't call you out on that, would you have continued and talked about all the money that was given to the Kamala Harris campaign? Or did
100%.
you only acknowledge that because Joe Rogan said it?
100% it was because Rogan.
You know 100%. Damn well he would have just went right down that line. Oh, it's so terrible that Elon Musk can buy elections.
He's never been pushed. Never been pushed.
Way more money is spent on Democratic campaigns. Oh,
he's like,
I was going to talk about that.
$5 billion, dude. Billion. It's a shame we're money in politics. Your whole party thrives on money in politics.
Money in politics is bad because it's Elon Musk. What if it's a teachers union? Oh, money in politics is good. It's a union. That means it's a bunch of people. Okay, what if it's one person instead of a bunch of people? Oh, now it's bad because it's billionaires.
Just
money in politics is money in politics. It's either allowed or it isn't.
Yeah,
and it can't be not allowed because it's one person, but it is allowed because it's a group that supports Democrats. You're either for it or you're against it.
That's crazy, dude. The whole thing's crazy. Him and Ted Cruz are just showing I know we joke about Vietness, but this is just showing, this is what corruption looks like.
Yeah, that's the thing too. That it is clearly corruption, right? Because like I said, Bernie had his point made, right? He was going to go on that show and talk about Elon Musk spending $200 million, however much it was, on the election, right? And he's thinking his buddy Joe, who endorsed him in the past, was gonna be like, "Yep, go on, Bernie, make your point about money in politics." No, Joe. He did the whole time. He stepped up and he went, "Wait, nope, I'm going to push back. You're wrong." And that's kind of a new era of Rogan there. I like that.
Yeah, that's him not going back quietly, man. I think COVID really showed their teeth. They attacked his family. They attacked him. They tried going after money. He had to move. Yeah.
I don't know if you want to end on. Well, first and foremost, I know we talked socks already, Ryan.
Saltwater, David.
We talked socks. We talked saltwater. And I didn't know if you had anything else to talk about. We can certainly end on
Nope.
whatever you want to talk about. I do have
I got
one more
nothing.
thing. Since this is kind of a Friday show, I have one, maybe two more things we could talk about. And one of them is True Social, Ryan. If you're looking for a great place online for news discussion, are you busting out pizza during the ad read, Ryan? Come on, be professional. And entertainment, then check out True Social, Donald Trump's social media website. You'll get breaking news stories and commentary from top media figures. If you want to see Trump's legendary True Social posts, get on True Social today. Join a growing community of patriots on a free speech platform like Rumble, designed to avoid censorship and cancellation by big tech. Make your voices heard peacefully and patriotically. Join the movement. Join True Social. And of course, Ryan, as always, if Don Jr. is going to plug his book on our show, we're gonna take advantage of True Social, Ryan.
We're gonna plug Donald Trump.
You might as well. Ryan, this seems like this is a good clip for you, I think, Ryan, for you to end on.
I don't know if this happens to anybody else, but the anger I get from making eye contact with a man is like so ridiculous sometimes. Look at the hives I just got literally just from making eye contact with a man. I literally feel so disgusted. I feel like ew! It stresses me out.
They're just they're inferior creatures, David. Their hormones are. I'm just kidding. Sure, man. Just kidding. Jesus was a man, not a woman. You know. Woman. Oh man. Kind of funny. She's probably backed up and probably just, David, good old leg up in the air kind of thing. And she looks Asian, so she just needs Asian persuasion, literally.
I don't know. Maybe
Filipino Asian.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know if you remember the story. I told this a while ago. The funniest thing you can do, just for the record, the funniest thing you can do as a man is go in a public place and then stare down someone else, like another man, and then watch them look away. It's I don't know why I get so much entertainment out of it,
Dave, because we're made to kill each other.
I know, but it's so funny to me that most people like immediately like look away. They're so
timid.
That's right.
Soft peasants.
I don't know why it's entertaining to me, but I always get a good laugh out of it.
I know, dude. I don't know. If you met eyes with Jesus, would you look away?
No.
Is that why we've done 3,000 podcasts together, David?
Maybe.
ADHD Jesus, dude.
Gaping hole Jesus.
Tag to Jesus. What? I didn't know if this was a family show. Oh, it's a family show, all right. They will suck all the blood out of all your family there, Dr. Mike. That guy thought we were a family show.
Well, third grade, yeah.
Wait, third grade family?
I think so.
No, not that we I have to ask too. You're in third grade, right? It's like, Dad, it all kind of blend together, kid, like third grade, fourth grade, seventh grade, boyfriend. I don't know. When do you date nowadays? Make sure he has wiener.
Well, it's different. It's different for us.
What are we talking about?
When kids date, it's different for us, Ryan, because well, we have different forms of offspring, Ryan. Yours shouldn't date till they're 30, and it doesn't really matter.
Yours should date endlessly.
Yeah.
Just start lifting weights, drinking milk, and just smashing dimes, you know?
He has no interest in girls.
Yeah, until he figures out what his dick does.
That's true. I don't think I was chasing
My
girls.
favorite thing, look.
10
This
years
is
old.
part of this whole hive conversation, Dave. My favorite thing is women thinking that they understand men because you date them. Okay, until you wake up with a stiff dick and no conscience, you can't tell me shit about guys. Okay? Like, it's just guys do dumb shit because we're wired to do dumb shit and dangerous shit. And you try to fuck it out of us. You try to feed me meatloaf or whatever the fuck. You try putting in my favorite video game or Netflix. So you try rubbing my feet and shit. It's like, man, I still want to go like fuck something up. You know, and you'll never get that shit out of guys.
I will say the average. I don't think the average woman understands. Like when you're a man and walking around, you're just thinking like, I can kick the shit out of that guy. I don't know why. I can't.
You either need to outrun him or kill him. I need to be able to outrun everybody in a room or kill him
down. I think it's funny because then they look away.
I will beat the shit out of you.
Together, typically, I'm the one checking out other girls. I'll be like, look at the dump on that one, David, and he's like, knock it off.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, the guy he's with, I would break his back.
Yeah, you're thinking about.
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
And I'm just checking out pretty.
Yeah, 100%. I would dominate her boyfriend. 100%.
Dave's thinking about pegging men, and she's thinking about chicks' asses.
It's the. No, it really is. It's funny walking around in public and just that's 100%.
There's no way that's what you think.
Yeah, 100%.
That's insane.
No, it's funny.
Honestly, I don't think I think
Hey. If that's insane, then all men are crazy. Luckily for men, we don't have
unfortunately, this
disorder
is
or whatever.
Just reality, right? Like this is just like this is the kind of thing that built societies. We see it today.
I think you guys all got BP. I think all women have bipolar disorder.
They're way different.
BPD and bipolar.
They're way different.
How I can beat people up.
No, because you're
What's
not
BDS?
a man.
What's BDSM?
This is the thing. This is like when Democrats try to pretend, or people on the left, or even like just whatever. It doesn't even have to be a political thing. But when people walk around today and pretend like men and women are different, it's hilarious to me. You could not be more different. And that's a good thing. That's like literally how society functions, is the fact that men and women are completely different and they serve completely different roles. And then when you start trying to cross all these roles is when society fucking falls apart. Because then Ryan has to train female electricians who can't walk up ladders. It's just completely different.
I get it.
Completely
Look, for the record, okay, I don't want to hear any bullshit about, well, there's girls. Right. I know two girls that are stronger than two of the guys I work with that can carry solar panels. Correct. But out of the balance of probability, all of the guys should be able to carry them. And when they don't, we make fun of them. When a girl can carry a solar panel, we're like, wow, man, you're really fucking strong. When she can't, we say, oh, no worries,
yeah, that makes
man.
sense. She's a girl.
Yeah.
I put Electrician Simulator in the cart on the PlayStation, so I will be joining you soon in the workforce.
Electrician Simulator.
Yeah, I'm gonna have you. Yeah. Electrician. Make sure you take the arc fault very serious on the Electrician Simulator. We don't want you to turn into ashes through your keyboard.
No, my mom never does that. She's been bit many times, but
by 110. Yeah, I get it, but let's be honest. Like a 110 line. I'm not saying it's not.
It's voltage, not amperage. I'm sorry, it's amperage, not voltage.
Voltage, right? I get it, but at the same time, it's very different to wire in a live outlet on a 110 versus to have some fucking.
Look, here's the thing. If you're getting bit at all with electricity, you don't know what the fuck you're doing and call a professional.
To be fair, I'm not going to mess with any of it. I don't have any desire.
I just turn the breaker off and then I don't have to get bit. It just makes sense.
No desire to learn about any of this.
Why have it live? It takes 10 seconds to turn it off.
Why do it live?
I never understood that. Like, what is the point of doing? What is the point of doing it live? Just fucking turn it off.
No, here's the thing. The thing is there's going to be instances that you're not able to turn it off. You're not able to turn it off live.
I I wouldn't say for the average homeowner who's doing something simple like wiring in a light.
No, I'm just telling you, like, there will be times. So, like, a lot of electricians don't turn shit. Like, people that know what they're doing, dude, it doesn't matter if it's on or off. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, the reason I can work on stuff live is because I know what I'm doing.
I will too after I play Electrician Simulator.
No, you fucking
Rewire our whole
won't.
house.
Look, the worst thing you can do is go on the computer and think you're going to be able to do electrical work.
Not the computer, the PlayStation. I'm gonna play
E-
it.
even
I know what I'm
fucking.
doing.
Oh, you're gonna get played, all right.
I'm gonna rewire our whole house.
Please don't.
No,
It works. It all works right now. Don't touch the wires.
Dude, one 3-way switch is going to turn off your fucking stove, dude.
Please do not touch the wires. Everything works.
You're going to turn
There's
on
no
your
need-
fucking light in your bathroom and the fucking furnace turns on.
There is no need to touch any lights. Don't touch any lights, wires, any outlets. Don't touch
There's
anything.
another one that I put in the cart called Autopsy Simulator, where you get to do autopsies on people. So, just saying, we're gonna be doing autopsies here in our house.
Dave's going to be half alive under that desk soon. Just still alive. Potty. Yeah, Dave's going to peg Dave, fuck with the wires, bring him back to life, put him on ice, and still shoot. Dave Ryan, December 17th, 73. Catch us on Rumble for the greatest podcast in all of human history. As always, David, I appreciate you most for your limited time left. And Eve, remember, you touch the hot with your tongue. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Oh, no, fuck. See you Monday. Enjoy the long weekend. Don't kill nobody, Dave.
Why would I kill anybody? Oh, no, I don't. I won't. No, it's
He's
just.
making me a little nervous because it's supposed to be raining the whole time, so his bug car isn't gonna have any traction, and he's gonna be whipping all over hell.
It'll be perfectly fine. See, again, when you know what you're doing, you don't worry about that kind of stuff.
He might die, Ryan.
I won't die.
Yeah, well, until I operate with emotion, I will keep operating with logic. Dave Ryan, December 17th, 73. Catch us on Rumble. I'll see you guys later.